You're listening to the Sunday Sims Podcast. Hello, welcome to episode number 6 of the Sunday Sims Podcast and YouTube show, where we use analytics-driven simulations of every match on the ATP and WTA Tour to go round by round. We preview potential matchups and results from this coming week's tournaments. We're brought to you by thetennistip's.com. I am Ryan Clifford. We had a fun week in tennis with the Olympics going on over at Roland Garros. We had Washington 500 level tournaments for the ATP and WTA. Olympics were crazy. Zheng Qinwen, we had a plus 2,900 outright on her, and she came through with one of the biggest upsets I can remember this season, taking out Iga Swiatek, who has been the queen there at Roland Garros for years. Angie Kerber, of course, had her farewell tour there during the Olympics, surprised some people with a couple of nice wins. Anna Carolina Schmiedlova, who saw that run coming? We had, I think, Clara Burrell was the underdog that kind of ran through the tournament in our Sunday Sims last week, but it was Schmiedlova who made it all the way to the medal rounds, ended up losing in the bronze medal match to Swiatek. Usual suspects on the men's side, Djokovic and Alcaraz, they just finished up their final matchup. Novak Djokovic came through, won the gold medal there. Lorenzo Musetti, he has been really, really good the past couple of months. Big runs at Wimbledon, here at the Olympics now, of course. He lost in the finals to Cerundolo just last week. In Washington, we had Arina Sabalenka return. She is not looking great. Went to 3 sets with Kamila Rakimova in her first match, and then ended up losing to Marie Boskova. Boskova and Badosa are playing in the final here in about 2 hours. Amanda Anisimova is back on tour after taking some time off. She seems to be finding her form. She has a wild card into Toronto this week as well, so hopefully she can keep it up. I'm rooting for her. On the men's side, of course, we had the Denis Shapovalov default, which was all the talk a couple of nights ago. You know, he's being heckled by fans. He says something on match point, right before match point, gets defaulted. Ben Shelton wasn't happy about it. Obviously, Shapovalov wasn't happy about it. I mean, I've heard that he loses all of his ranking points and all of his prize money from the entire tournament because of that. So we'll see if that's appealed. That would be a shame for such a seemingly innocent thing to cost him all of that hard work that he put in this week. We see this happen from players all the time where they're kind of yapping back and forth with fans in the stands. So I'm not sure that I agree with that rule. Flavio Caboli, he is into his first ATP final. He'll play Sebastian Korda later on today for the Washington title. So it was a nice week of tennis. Should be good this week. We've only got this one tournament to focus on, the Canada Masters. I want to talk about that, but before that, I want to talk about thetennistip's.com. This is where you can find all of my tennis betting, player prop, and DFS advice in one spot. The Dub Club platform we're on makes things convenient for you by sending a notification each time I post new tips. I leverage all of the same data and statistical modeling used for the Sunday Sims into making informed tennis bets and player prop picks. With the VIP All Access package, you'll get weekly outrights and futures bets, daily moneyline match bets, player prop cards for sites like Prize Picks and Underdog Fantasy, and even a DFS Core 4 for those of you playing on DraftKings. Enjoy up to a 7-day free trial on all access packages and use promo code SUNDAYSIMS to save 20% on your monthly or yearly subscription. It's a great time of the week to start your trial, as we'll have our outright bets posted here shortly for the Canada Masters, along with tips for today's finals that are up and qualifying round matches, which are already up on the site. Join us today at thetennistip's.com. Let's get betting. So, yeah, the Canada Masters will start, I believe, tomorrow. Got some qualies going on today. The venues flip each year for ATP and WTA. So 1 year, the ATP will play in Toronto. WTA will play in Montreal. The following year, they'll flip WTA in Toronto, ATP in Montreal. The court surfaces are the exact same. They've got the same builders that come in and make the courts. So nothing to look at there. But the ATP is in Montreal this year. Last year in Toronto, it was Jannik Sinner who won over Alex de Minaur for the title in 2023. We have 4 former Canada Masters champions in the draw this year with Jannik Sinner, of course, Pablo Carreno Busta, who won in 2022, Daniil Medvedev, the 21 winner, and Alexander Zverev, who won back in 2017. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started here with the men's draw. Looking at the top quarter first, of course, Jannik Sinner is the number 1 seed. He gets a bye along with Andrei Rublev. Tommy Paul, the number 10 seed, gets Luciano Darteri. Darteri's more of a clay court player, so I doubt that this will be too much of a match, but definitely two good players there. Francis Tiafoe, it's a tough draw here against Alejandro Tabilo, the number 15 seed. Tomas Martin Echeverry and Nicholas Jarry, that's a nice little first-round matchup as well. Let's take a look at the second quarter. Daniil Medvedev is the number 3 seed. Stefanos Tsitsipas, the number 8 seed. Of course, they both get byes to the second round. Hugo Humbert and Arthur Fils, battle of the Frenchmen there. That'll be a good matchup. Borg is another clay court kind of guy, so not sure he'll be much of an issue for Kecmanovic, who is much better on hard courts, but that'll be a nice matchup. Kai Nishikori making an appearance here, draws Alex Mickelson, the American. And the Canadian wildcard, Gabriel Diallo, gets the number 16 seed, Karen Khachanov, in round 1. Looking at the third quarter, the byes here go to Grigor Dimitrov, who is the number 7 seed, and Hubert Hurkacz, the number 4 seed. Alexander Bublik and Ben Shelton, that'll be a nice first-round matchup. A lot of big serving will happen in that one, no doubt. Flavio Caboli, who is in the Washington final today, draws the Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime, who is the number 14 seed here and will definitely be a favorite for his hometown crowd there in Quebec. Into the bottom quarter, Casper Ruud is the number 6 seed. Alex Zverev is the number 2 seed. Both will get byes to the second round. And a couple nice first-round matchups here between Holger Rune, the number 13 seed, and Milos Raonic. Of course, Raonic has that big serve as well, so we'll see if Rune can get some breaks there to get by him. Taylor Fritz and Mariano Navone. Like Darteri, Navone, more of a clay court guy. I wouldn't expect Fritz to struggle too much here. Sebastian Korda, coming off the final in Washington, will take on the Canadian Vasek Pospisil, who we have not seen at tour level, at least for some time here. And Jordan Thompson, who's had a pretty nice season here the past month or so, he'll take on the Brit Jack Draper. Nice matchup there as well for the first round. So pretty strong player field here. Let's take a look at some of our results. We'll start with the top quarter here in the first round. Of course, we've got Jannik Sinner, the number 1 seed, getting through with a bye. As always, we're going to treat qualifiers as byes, as we do not have that. The qualifiers have not even played yet, let alone placed into the draw. So we'll treat the qualifiers as a bye, and thus Pedro Martinez gets bye, and we'll take on Jannik Sinner in the second round. Talon Griekspoor gets by Lorenzo Sonego in 3 sets. Griekspoor next round will take on Alejandro Tabilo. The number 15 seed takes out Francis Tiafoe 7-6, 7-5. Tommy Paul, the number 10 seed, destruction here over Luciano Darteri 6-1, 6-1. Paul will take on Denis Shapovalov. The Canadian gets through playing a qualifier. Nicholas Jarry in straight sets takes out Tomas Martin Echeverry. Next round, Jarry will take on Andrei Rublev, the number 5 seed, who gets through with the bye. Down to the second quarter, we'll start with Daniil Medvedev. He's the number 3 seed. He gets through with a bye, and next round he will play Roman Safiullin, who wins in straight sets here over Davidovich Fokina. Matteo Arnaldi is going to push through to the second round with a qualifier as his opponent, and he will face Karen Khachanov, the number 16 seed, in straight sets, takes out Gabriel Diallo. Arthur Fils wins a 3-set match with Hugo Humbert, and next round Fils will take on Nuno Borges, who wins 6-4, 7-5 over Miroslav Kecmanovic. Be the champions from Umag and Gstaad a few weeks ago there between Fils and Borges. Alex Michelson in 3 sets takes out Kai Nishikori. Michelson next round will take on the number 8 seed Stefanos Tsitsipas. To the third quarter, we've got Grigor Dimitrov, the number 7 seed, getting through with a bye. And we're going to push him through in the second round, too, as he'll get a qualifier, as the first-round matchup will feature qualifier versus qualifier. So Dimitrov will push through unopposed to the third round. Tomas Machac in 3 sets takes out Alexei Popyrin. And Machac will take on Ben Shelton in round 2. Shelton in straight sets beats Alexander Bublik. Felix Auger-Aliassime in 2 sets beats Flavio Caboli. Auger-Aliassime will take on Adrian Mannarino. Mannarino seemingly cannot win a tennis match anymore. It's been a long while since Mannarino has been able to grab a victory, but we're going to give him a victory here over a qualifier. He just doesn't have to work for it, so he'll take on Auger-Aliassime in round 2. Gael Monfils is going to move through, facing a qualifier in round 1, and he'll face Hubert Hurkacz, the number 4 seed, who had the bye here. And to the bottom quarter we go. Casper Ruud, the number 6 seed, is through with a bye, and next round he'll take on Cameron Norrie. Norrie takes out Marcos Giron in 3 sets. Vasek Pospisil in 3 sets beats Sebastian Korda, who surely will be dealing with some fatigue after playing in the Washington final here later today. Pospisil will take on Taylor Fritz, the number 9 seed, takes out Mariano Navone in 3 sets. Holger Rune does get a couple breaks, takes him to a tiebreaker in set 1, but does get a break in set 2 and takes out Milos Raonic in 2 sets. Rune will take on Fabian Marochin in round number 2 as he takes out former Canada Masters champ Pablo Carreno Busta in 2 sets. And Jack Draper in 3 sets beats Jordan Thompson. Draper will take on the number 2 seed Alexander Zverev, who gets through with a bye. And that'll complete our first round results. So we go back to the top quarter. Look at the second round results here as we've got Jannik Sinner, the number 1 seed, in straight sets, victorious over Pedro Martinez, 6-1, 6-4. The number 15 seed Alejandro Tabilo is also through in straight sets, beating Talon Griekspoor 7-6, 6-3. Tommy Paul, the number 10 seed, is through in straight sets over Denis Shapovalov. Paul will take on Andrei Rublev, the number 5 seed, who wins in 3 sets here over Nicholas Jarry. Looking at the second quarter, it's Daniil Medvedev, the number 3 seed, victorious over Roman Safiullin. It takes him 3 sets, but he gets it done. And he'll take on his fellow countryman Karen Khachanov, who wins in 3 sets over Matteo Arnaldi. Arthur Fils is the first unseeded player through to the last 16. Fils takes out Nuno Borges in 3 sets, and he'll take on another unseeded player as Alex Michelson scores an upset victory here over Stefanos Tsitsipas 7-5, 6-3. Grigor Dimitrov, as we said, is going to push through as he will face qualifier here in the second round. The number 7 seed in the third round will have a bit of a tougher matchup as he takes on the number 11 seed Ben Shelton. Shelton wins in 3 sets here over Tomas Machac. Another big upset here, Adrian Mannarino, who we were just talking about. He actually wins one here over the hometown favorite Felix Auger-Aliassime, 5-7, 6-2, 6-3. So that is a big upset there. Next round, Mannarino will take on Hubert Hurkacz. The number 4 seed wins 7-5, 7-5 here over Gael Monfils. And that was the third quarter, so let's go to the final quarter here. Casper Ruud, the number 6 seed, is upset here by Cameron Norrie. Casper Ruud on a hard court, I wouldn't consider this much of an upset. Cameron Norrie is victorious 6-4, 7-6. Norrie will face Taylor Fritz, the number 9 seed, in the third round. Fritz gets by Vasek Pospisil in 3 sets. The number 13 seed, Holger Rune, is through, takes him 3 sets, but he knocks off Fabian Marochin. Rune will take on Alexander Zverev in the third round. Zverev, the number 2 seed, takes out Jack Draper in 3 sets. So here's a look at the final 16. Just 4 seeded players knocked out here before the third round. Jannik Sinner and Alejandro Tabilo, number 1 versus number 15. We've got Tommy Paul, number 10, versus Andrei Rublev, number 5. Daniil Medvedev, 3, against Karen Khachanov, 16. Of course, Arthur Fils versus Alex Michelsen. Grigor Dimitrov, the 7th seed, will take on number 11, Ben Shelton. Adrian Mannarino, surprising to see him in the third round. He'll take on the number 4 seed, Hubert Hurkacz. Unseeded Cameron Norrie will take on the number 9 seed, Taylor Fritz. And, of course, we have Holger Rune, number 13 seed, and Alex Zverev in a nice matchup there at the bottom of the draw. Looking at the results, it is Jannik Sinner, 6-3, 6-2 winner over Tablo. Sinner is your first quarterfinalist. He will take on Andrei Rublev, the number 5 seed, who wins in 3 sets over Tommy Paul. Karen Khachanov is victorious in a bit of an upset here over Daniil Medvedev. Khachanov wins in straight sets and will take on Alex Michelsen, the American, who wins in 3 sets over Arthur Fils. It is Ben Shelton who comes through over Grigor Dimitrov in straight sets. Shelton will take on another big server in Hubert Hurkacz. The number 4 seed Hurkacz wins 6-4, 7-6 over Mannarino. And at the bottom of the draw, it's Taylor Fritz, the number 9 seed, winning over Cameron Norrie in straight sets. Fritz will take on Alex Zverev, the number 2 seed, who takes 3 sets again, but he does get it done here against Rune. Fritz and Zverev, of course, will set up that rematch from Wimbledon that caused so much drama with Fritz's box and his girlfriend and Instagram and all of that stuff. That would be an interesting quarterfinal matchup here. All right, we'll take a look at those quarterfinal results. Sinner and Rublev, nice matchup here. Sinner is victorious in straight sets, 6-1, 7-6. Sinner in the next round will take on Karen Khachanov, the number 16 seed, who upset Daniil Medvedev in the third round. Takes out Alex Michelsen, 6-4, 7-6 here. Hubert Hurkacz is the number 4 seed, and he wins in straight sets here over Ben Shelton. Hurkacz will take on Taylor Fritz, the number 9 seed, upsets Alexander Zverev. 3 sets, 6-4, 1-6, 7-6 for Taylor Fritz. So that sets up our semifinal matchups. The number 1 seed, Jannik Sinner, will take on number 16, Karen Khachanov, and number 4, Hubert Hurkacz. In the bottom of the draw, takes on number 9, Taylor Fritz. Couple really good semis here. Let's take a look at the results. Our final matchup here for the National Bank Open will be Karen Khachanov with a big upset. He loses the first set, but he comes through in sets 2 and 3, taking out the number 1 seed, Jannik Sinner. So it'll be Khachanov and Taylor Fritz. Fritz, the number 9 seed, defeats Hubert Hurkacz in 3 sets, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4. So Khachanov and Fritz in the finals here. Take a look at their head-to-head. Khachanov actually leads this head-to-head 2-0 over Fritz. They have not played in a few years, but both of those wins for Khachanov did come on hard courts. Khachanov is the ATP ranked number 22 currently. His last title came in Doha in February. Taylor Fritz, currently the ATP number 13. His last title came in Eastbourne back in June, so it has not been that long for Fritz. He also won in Delray Beach in February on a hard court. So let's take a look at the results of this matchup. We'll look at the first set, and the first set goes the way of Taylor Fritz, 6-3 over Karen Khachanov. Let's see if Khachanov can force a decider. He cannot. It is Taylor Fritz, 6-3, 6-2. He is your 2024 National Bank Open Sunday Sims champion here in Montreal. So we'll move over to Toronto for the WTA draw. Jessica Pegula was the 2023 champion here. She defeated Ludmila Samsonova in the final last year. We have 3 former Canada Masters champions in this draw with Pegula, of course, the 2023 champion. Bianca Andreescu won in her home country back in 2019. And all the way back in 2017, Alina Svitolina was the champion. She is in the draw here. Let's take a look at some first-round matchups. Of course, another strong player field here. Coco Gauff, the number 1 seed. And Ludmila Samsonova, who lost in the finals last year. She's the number 6 seed. Both of them will get byes to the second round. Ons Jabeur, the number 4 seed, gets a tough matchup here against Naomi Osaka, the 2021 Australian Open winner. Looking at the Second quarter, Jessica Pegula is number 3 seed, and Madison Keys, fellow American, is the number 7 seed. They will both get byes. Victoria Azarenka, the number 12 seed, gets Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Tough matchup there for her in the first round. Leylah Fernandez is the number 15 seed. She draws Zhang Shui, who I believe is on like a 25-match losing streak or something crazy. So Fernandez likely to move through to the second round here. In the third quarter, we have Emma Navarro, the number 8 seed, and Jelena Ostapenko, the number 4 seed, getting byes. Diana Yastremska is the number 16 seed. She draws a tough first-round matchup here against Yulia Putintseva, while Marta Kostyuk, who had a nice Olympics run as the number 11 seed, gets a bit of an easier first-round match against Tatiana Maria. Into the final quarter we go. Daria Kasatkina is the number 5 seed getting a bye, and number 2 seed goes to Arina Sabalenka. So they will get through with byes. Beatriz Haddad Maia, the number 13 seed, she draws a tough one with Maria Buskova in the first round. Buskova, of course, is playing in the Washington final here in a bit. We've got a rematch from Washington. Caroline Dolehide and Amanda Anisimova, they had a really nice match there in Washington. They'll play again here in the first round, so we'll see if Dolehide can come through again there. But let's take it back up to the top and look at our first results. Coco Gauff is the number 1 seed, and she will take on fellow American Sophia Kenin, who is playing a qualifier in round 1. So we'll move Kenin forward. Gauff, of course, with the bye. They'll meet in round number 2. Anastasia Potapova in 3 sets takes out Magdalena Freck. And Potapova will take on Diana Schneider, the number 14 seed. Schneider faced a qualifier in round 1. Bit of an upset here is Naomi Osaka. We talked about her previous dominance on the hard courts. She takes out Ons Jabeur here, 7-6, 6-4. Osaka will take on Elise Mertens in round number 2. Mertens got through playing a qualifier, as did Victoria Tomova. Tomova will move through to face Ludmila Samsonova, the number 6 seed, who had the bye. Tomova-Samsonova will be the final second-round matchup in this top quarter. To the second quarter we go. Pegula is the number 3 seed getting through. In round 2, she'll face Karolina Pliskova. Pliskova wins 6-3, 6-3 over Podoroska. Elisabetta Cottiaretto faces a qualifier in round 1, so we'll push her forward to face Leylah Fernandez as the number 15 seed does get through against Zhang, 6-2, 6-2. Victoria Azarenka takes her 3 sets, but she comes through over Pavlyuchenkova. So the number 12 seed Azarenka will take on Sloane Stephens in round number 2. Stephens played a qualifier, so we'll push her forward. More Americans here at the bottom of this quarter is Peyton Stearns in 3 sets beats Anna Blinkova. Stearns will take on Madison Keys, the 7 seed, who got through with a bye. We start the third quarter with another American. Emma Navarro, the number 8 seed, will face the Canadian Rebecca Marino. Marino with an upset win here over Magda Linette. Shelby Rogers, another American winner, 6-2, 6-4, and an upset win over Elina Svitolina. Maybe the biggest upset of the first round, though, belongs to Tatiana Maria. She loses 0-6 in set number 1. I think she lost 0-6, 0-6 in the Olympics to Maria Karl. She loses 0-6 here in set 1, but comes back, wins 6-2, 7-6 in sets 2 and 3 to take out Kostyuk. So this third quarter is full of upsets so far. Diana Yastremska, the number 16 seed, you could probably consider this an upset too, as she takes out Yulia Putintseva in 3 sets. Yastremska will take on Marina Stakusik, the Canadian wild card, in round number 2, who gets through with a qualifier. Paula Badosa is in the final in Washington today, and she is victorious here in round 1 in Toronto over Clara Tauson, 6-1, 6-3. So Badosa will take on that number 4 seed, Jelena Ostapenko, who made it through with a bye. Into the final quarter, we started with Daria Kasatkina, the 5 seed, getting through with a bye. She'll take on Amanda Anisimova, who does get some retribution here over Caroline Dolehide, and Anisimova wins it in 3 sets. Bianca Andreescu, the Canadian, wins in straight sets over Lucia Sarenko. And next round, she will take on the Russian Anna Kalinskaya, who the number 10 seed will push her through as she played a qualifier in round number 1. Andreescu and Kalinskaya, that's a nice second-round matchup on the docket. Marie Boskova continues her good run. She wins in 3 sets over the number 13 seed, Beatriz Haddad-Maia. Boskova will take on Angelina Kalinina, who wins in 3 sets over Katie Bolter. Yuan Yue, 6-1, 6-3 winner over Kristina Buxa. She will take on Aryna Sabalenka in second round as the number 2 seed gets through with the bye. And that will finish up our first round of results. So let's take it back up to the top. We've got Coco Gauff, the number 1 seed, winning in straight sets over Sofia Kenin to kick off the second round. Gauff in round 3 will take on the number 14 seed Diana Schneider. Schneider wins in 3 sets here over Potapova. And Naomi Osaka in 3 sets takes out Elise Mertens. Osaka will take on Lyudmila Samsonova. The number 6 seed wins in 3 sets here over Victoria Tomova. To the second quarter, starting with the number 3 seed Jessica Pegula victorious in 3 sets over Karolina Pliskova. Pegula will take on the Canadian Leylah Fernandez as the number 15 seed wins in 3 sets over Elisabetta Cocciaretto. Sloane Stephens with an upset win here over Victoria Azarenka. Stephens in 3 sets takes out the number 12 seed, and next round will play her old pal Madison Keys. Keys, the number 7 seed, wins in 3 sets over Peyton Stearns. To the third quarter, it's Emma Navarro, another American, the number 8 seed, 6-2, 6-3 winner over Rebecca Marino. Tatiana Maria continues her improbable run here into the third round as she wins in 3 sets over Shelby Rogers. And Marina Stakusik, the Canadian wild card, with an upset win here over number 16, Diana Yastremska, 6-1, 6-2. No fooling around from Stakusik in that one. And she will take on Jelena Ostapenko, the number 4 seed, who wins 7-6, 6-2 over Paula Badosa. And in the final quarter, we have Amanda Anisimova, 6-3, 6-3 winner over Daria Kasatkina. So Kasatkina, who lost her first match in Washington to Caroline Dolehide, now loses to another American here in Anisimova. Anisimova will take on Anna Kalinskaya, the number 10 seed, who wins 7-5, 6-2 here over Bianca Andreescu. The crowd would not like that one. Marie Boskova, 6-3, 6-4 winner over Kalinina. Boskova will take on Yuan Yue in a big upset. This is probably the upset of the week, I would say here. Yuan Yue wins in 3 sets, 7-6, 4-6, 6-3 over Aryna Sabalenka. So Sabalenka, talked about her looking out of form. She lost to Marie Boskova yesterday in Washington. She had gotten taken to 3 sets by Kamila Rakimova, and she loses here in 3 sets to Yuan Yue. So big upset here at the bottom of the draw. Let's take a look at our last 16. We've got Coco Gauff, the number 1 seed, taking on number 14, Diana Schneider. Naomi Osaka, unseeded, taking on the number 6 seed, Lyudmila Samsonova. Number 3, Jessica Pegula against number 15, Leylah Fernandez. Sloane Stephens, unseeded, taking on the number 7 seed, Madison Keys. Emma Navarro is the number 8 seed. She'll take on Tatiana Maria. Jelena Ostapenko, the number 4 seed, will take on Marina Stakusik. Amanda Anisimova will take on Anna Kalinskaya, who is the number 10 seed. And at the bottom, it's Marie Boskova against Yuan Yue. So let's go ahead and take a look at the results here. Our first quarter finalist is going to be Diana Schneider, the number 14 seed, who's been playing phenomenal tennis in the past couple of months. She takes out the number 1 seed Coco Gauff here in 3 sets. Schneider will take on Naomi Osaka. Osaka continues her run with another upset win over Lyudmila Samsonova, 6-1, 7-6. Leylah Fernandez is the number 15 seed. She beats the number 3 seed Jessica Pegula. So the Canadian is through to the quarterfinals where she'll face Madison Keys. Keys, the number 7 seed, wins in straight sets over Sloane Stephens. Emma Navarro, the number 8 seed, finally takes out Tatiana Maria, 6-4, 6-4. And another big upset here for Marina Stakusik as the Canadian wildcard is through to the quarterfinals, taking out Jelena Ostapenko. The number 4 seed loses 3-6, 7-6, 6-3 to Stakusik. Anna Kalinskaya, the number 10 seed, is through over Anisimova, 6-3, 6-1, and she will face Yuan Yue, who takes out Marie Boskova, 6-3, 5-7, 6-2. So we've got 2 Canadians through to the quarterfinals. Let's see how they fare here. Our first matchup will be Naomi Osaka winning in 3 sets. Another big upset for Osaka. She's having a dominant run here. She takes out Diana Schneider in 3 sets. She'll face Madison Keys. The number 7 seed wins over Fernandez, much to the dismay of the Toronto audience, I'm sure. Keys wins in 3 sets and will take on Osaka in the semis. But it is Marina Stakusik, 7-5, 6-4, and another thriller here for the Canadian crowd. She takes out number 8, Emma Navarro. Stakusik takes out the number 16 seed, the number 4 seed, and the number 8 seed here. And she'll face the number 10 seed in the semis. She draws Anna Kalinskaya, who wins 7-5, 6-2 over Yuan Yue. Stakusik is a 19-year-old Canadian. She's not even ranked in the top 100. I believe she is not even in the top 150 right now. So this would be a shocker to see her get through. She's only played 1 match in the Grand Slam, playing in Wimbledon this past year, losing in round 1. This is a youngster. This would be quite a breakout for her in front of a home audience. So the semifinal matchups would be Naomi Osaka here against the number 7 seed Madison Keys. And Marina Stakusik, of course, who we just talked about, against the number 10 seed Anna Kalinskaya. So let's see who we'll have in the finals. It will be Naomi Osaka, who wins in 3 sets. Another upset win for Osaka as she takes out Madison Keys, the number 7 seed. Maybe she's back. Maybe Osaka's back. We saw her take Iga Swiatek to the wire in Roland Garros, which was kind of a shocker. She hasn't really played terribly well since then, but this would be a nice run for her. Former number 1 seed. Of course, she took a lot of time off. She's worked her way back up into the top 100. She is WTA 95 at the moment. She's not been to a final since Miami 2022. She lost to Swiatek there, actually. Her last title was that 2021 Australian Open. So she's not even been in a semifinal this year. So this would be a welcome run for her and all the Osaka fans there. She will take on Anna Kalinskaya. Kalinskaya is the number 10 seed. She's WTA 17 right now, which is a career high for Kalinskaya. She's never won a tour-level title. She will be looking for her maiden WTA title. She lost in the finals in Berlin in June to Pegula, and she lost in the finals of Dubai back in February to Jasmine Paolini. So let's see who gets this done. We'll take a look at the first set, and it goes the way of Kalinskaya. 6-3 here over Osaka in the first set. Can Osaka force a decider? Let's see. She does. Osaka wins set number 2, 7-5, forcing that deciding third set, which goes the way of Naomi Osaka. Osaka wins in 3 sets, 3-6, 7-5, 6-3 over Kalinskaya. Naomi Osaka is your 2024 National Bank Open Women's Champion here in Toronto. And that's it. Just the 2 tournaments this week. I guess 1 tournament, you could say, in 2 separate locations. Make sure you download the podcast, The Sunday Sims, to get your first look each week at the draws and potential matchups for every tournament on the ATP and WTA tours. And also make sure you subscribe to The Sunday Sims on YouTube. While the podcast is great for on-the-go content, if you're driving or walking around or even just doing chores around the house, I would say the show is greatly enhanced in video form. You've got the on-screen draws and results you can follow along with as we go through each tournament. So subscribe there on YouTube. And finally, make sure you keep up with all of our content on social media at The Sunday Sims on Twitter and on Instagram, and Sunday Sims Tennis Tips on Facebook. If you've got any reactions or feedback on the show, go ahead and leave it in the comments box. I can have a look and we can discuss there. we will be back next week, I believe, on Sunday to preview Cincinnati. We've got another combined ATP and WTA event. This is a Masters tournament once again next week. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the tennis this week. I'll catch you all again next week here at the Sunday Sims.